beautiful day over here. What's it like over there?
Yeah, so we having that comes some bad weather. We have that hurricane that's passing through, so we're
Oh my
getting all
goodness.
everywhere. Yeah,
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's terrible. Edward, we've got look, first of all, thank you so much for giving us your time to do
yeah,
this podcast. This is going to be a very, very interesting chat, I think. Um, so, Edward, do you want to just explain what your situation was and how you got through everything first?
yeah, sure. So I kind of still dealing with it. So as you know, many of my images are used in a lot of romance scam to scam women. But it's getting to the point to where I'm getting a lot more women coming back out to saying that it's happening more and more again. And I don't have the energy to reply to all women. I just can't. So I do my best to promote who I am, what's going on in many of my social media accounts, because that's where most of them reach back out to me on my social media accounts to figure out am I the real Edward? And
Mm.
and it's been going on for like 4.5 years, 5 years now. But um it's just a way of life for me now, and I'm always watching myself, watching my back, watching how I walk or where I go, because I don't know the intentions of some of the women that may be hurt. As I've ran into women all over the world in the states that said they've been talking to me, and I've ran some people in person. I had to let them know it was not me, and not knowing what their reaction would be was scary for me. So I had to be cautious of how I told them that they weren't talking to me, because I don't know if they gave that person money and or how much they gave them. And just to the point now, it's happening more and more, and it's more aggressive now.
Exactly. And Edward, you had a terrible situation where you actually had to go to court.
Yeah, I had a lady. She was reaching out to me as the normal thing that the lady does. They reach out to me and say, "Hey, I love you. I miss you. What happened? I thought you're my husband or my fiance." And then I've had to let the people know, "Hey, I don't know what happened. I never met you. We're not getting married." And if you need to talk, you can talk to Scam Hunters United. They'll be more to help you to allow you know what the scam was. But this one here, she was very persistent. She was like, "No, you're my husband, and you've been talking to me." And I had to like slow it down, because I have to be careful what I say, because now people will use what you say in court, and they'll say, "Hey, yeah, he said he was with me." So she got it to the point where she was able to get a court hearing based on a, a story she told the court that I was her husband to be. We were supposed to be married, and she gave me so much money, and now at the point that she wanted to sue me for the money and the alleged false relationship, and I didn't know the court system allow someone to go make up anything and say they want to sue someone based on not factual findings, but what someone's hurt and heart to say, yeah, Edward took all his money from me, and I want the money back from him, and that kind of did a lot of damage to me, because I didn't think
Mm.
I didn't think that would happen, and I had to fight to defend my namesake, because I never met the woman.
And in the end, she didn't even turn up, did she, at the end?
Not at all. Not at all. I went there with some help from Scam Hunters United. They helped me out with a specialist that was in cyber crime. He helped me out, and he came out there, and we won a case. But the thing was that I wasted a lot of time, energy, um, to get there, and the lady never showed up. And as soon as the court case get thrown out, she reached back out to the courts to say she was sick or some of that matter, and she still wanted to go through the case, but the court decided it was in favor, because we pleaded our case that it was not me she was speaking with.
Absolutely terrible, you know. Is it still happening with her, Edward?
Fortunately, I haven't heard anything back from her since that last instance that she tried to go and tell the court that she couldn't make it, so she wanted to keep going with the case. But I
Hmm.
haven't heard anything from her. What I have had was some copycats. I had a lady out in California.
Goodness.
she reached out to me and said, "Hey, I know you're the scammer, Edward. Either you call me right now, or I'm going to
Mm.
be taking you to court." And I'm like, what is wrong with people? So it was her way of trying to get to me by by more so scare tactics, because she wanted to
It's
talk to the real Edward.
victimization.
Correct, correct. And she was
Mm.
telling me I was her husband to be, and I made a lot of weird people to the point where I had to let the lady know it's not me. Do what you need to do because I'll never talk to you. So when I blocked her, like 4 different social medias, I had to block her off because she kept reaching out to me.
Oh
Haven't heard
dear.
from her yet.
Terrible, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's
awful.
very difficult.
It must be so hard having, as you said, having to watch your back, having to watch every move, where you are. And I suppose with your because I know that you are very social because you're an accomplished actor, and you do a lot more than a lot of people realize. So of course you have to have you have to be out there, and it attracts um, people with, yeah, who aren't genuine, and they just want to fall in love with the person, with
Yeah,
you, and it's terribly, terribly sad, because it's all fantasy.
it is. It is. It's very much so to the point where I have people who reach out to me to say, "Hey, I found out that I was being scammed by whoever that person was. They came to me, but I'm in love with you because I fell in love with the image. But
Mm,
I don't know if you have a wife or not, but I would love to get to know you because I can't move on and I want to be with you." And I get so many of those requests each day that they want me to call them because they love me, they're in love with me.
mm,
And I don't do it because I don't want to lead them on, because if I give them that call, it opens up a gateway that, oh, they may have a chance.
mm,
So I don't do it. And I have one individual, she's out of Arkansas right now. She calls me and texts me, and I blocked her, but she keeps finding new ways. And she's done emails saying she loves me to death, that she's going to kill herself if I don't
oh
talk to her.
God.
So I've had to send over copies of transcripts over to the police just so they can see what's going on, because it just gets to the point where it's get heavy to where if someone does something to themselves or me, I want there to be a record evidence of what was
Of
going on.
course, definitely. Do you find that it affects your employment?
Yes, yes, it has affected my employment, especially with the military, because I've had to let my commander know, hey,
Hmm.
because I've my image has been on different social media sites, dating sites, and currently today I've received a snapshot, a screenshot from a friend of mine stating, "Hey, someone is posing as you." That, and there's a lot of women on there saying they talked to you and they gave you money, and sometimes I'm in uniform, so automatically that can assume that I'm being a scammer. So
Mm,
now the military can say, "Hey, are you scamming these women? What is going on?" So I've had to let my command know, and I had to send it all the way up to my intelligence officers to let them know I'm not
mm,
out here scamming women. My images are being used to garner women's hearts so they can steal their money. And in return, the scammers cut all communication once they reach what they need. And now the ladies come back trying to find me in different ways, either through IG, social media, my phone number. They Google my name, and they go to the
mm.
point to where they reach out to my family and friends to try to get a hold of me. So it gets really heavy.
And there's three people. You've got to remember too. There's three people in the scam. There's two victims. There's yourself. There's a person who's trying to contact you, and then there's a scammer.
Yeah.
Three people. And Ruth and I have the same opinion. What we feel, what we think of the scammers. And I won't repeat it here. Um, but it is just terrible what happens. Absolutely terrible. I'm actually even finding, having started this group, that we've had people come to us and they've had a lot of scammers with them. And as I was explaining to you in conversations that we've had previously, our site is extreme. We vet every person that comes to us, and we do it every week. It's very time consuming, but it's a safe place to come. But Edward, I wanted to talk to you about the after effects you're mentioning.
Yeah, Kathy, that's very interesting that you say that because, as you said, there's three people involved with the scam: the scammer,
Mm,
the victim, as well as the person being scammed in the images. So once all that plays out, and one of those people, which would be the scammer, actually leaves the picture, now it's the victim and the images of the person they've been using now gets left in that limbo to where the person who's been the victim, they're trying to find a closure. And now it
mm,
comes to the point they can't just stop there. They're seeking to understand what happened. So now the scammers, they're completely gone. Because they made up everything was false, so there's no track to get them back. So now they're living off of an image and as much detailed information that the scammer provided to them about the person they were using or images. They come back and try to find out, hey, were we talking? Did we have a romantic relationship? And many times, we may not respond to them, and that will leave them out there. But I get myself in the pickle sometimes because I feel for the women. So
mm,
I'll try to respond, but it comes to a point where they want to continue from the after effect of knowing they've been scammed. They want to have the relationship with me,
mm-hmm,
and or I have to tell them no, I can't have a relationship. I don't know who you are. I'm not interested in you. To where now they're left empty handed because they had a romantic relationship with someone that looked like me. Now I am, as I say, um, not taking their offer. So now they're hurt in a way. Now they want to figure out where do they pick up and go from there. And
mm,
just as of yesterday, I had a lady text me said she was in a romantic relationship through my image for 3 years. And I couldn't fathom, how do you be with someone for 3 years you never met?
mm, mm.
And they strung her
Exactly.
along, and they strung her along. So now she's trying to figure out how to deal with that. And her only way was for her to come out to me and let her know she found out that she was scammed. And she wanted me to know that who the scammer was and where they were at. But unfortunately, she didn't know how to continue on after that. So me trying to figure out, I'm not a counselor. I'm not a licensed counselor. So
No.
I can't give them, I can't give them medical help to say, hey, yeah, this will help you out to get over me. No, I
Mm,
can't do that. So
mm,
I get stuck at a point. I do not try to involve myself or insert myself into their lives. But now I'm starting to see on my social medias, there's women that stay on my social media and always respond to, man, I loved you. Oh, I'm excited for you. Oh, I can't wait to see you. Is that they're still trying to get that image that they had and try to insert themselves into my life. And now every so often someone say, oh, I loved you, but you left me. And I don't reply because I'm like, I can't go into that because if I do, it's going to add more fuel to what they're trying to get to, and it's just them trying to act out in a certain way because it's an after effect. They don't know what to do next. They don't know how to continue on after being scammed.
it adds more fuel to the fire, and they do. They fall in love with the image, and every time there's a new image uploaded, they think, "Oh my goodness, you know, another beautiful image. I wonder what that person is doing right now." And he's saying that he's going to, or she is going to fly out to see me.
Yes, and that is the number one thing that happens. The scammer says, "I miss you, baby. Yes, I love
Mm,
you. I will see you on this day." When
mhm,
that day arrives and they don't see the scammer and the scammer has deactivated their page or
mhm,
blocked them,
mhm.
it's leaving these women in shame because they involved their whole family with this. And it's this,
Oh,
and they tell their family,
mm,
yes, I'm getting married to Edward Bryan. And they send their family my images to where their family is trying to reach back out to me in some instances and say, hey, I have an aunt that says she's been talking to you. You're too good looking to talk to her, so I know this wasn't true. Could you tell her that you're not talking to her? And I don't like to do that because then that hurts. it hurts them in sort of way that their family's trying to push the image. So I do my best to tell them, hey, the best thing you can do is let them know that they're not talking to me, and they're talking to a person that's behind that image. Because if I send a video saying, hey, you're not talking to me, I've done that quite a few times, they don't believe it. They tell me,
Mm,
no, that's not him. He's lying. That guy there's he's the scammer. And
mm,
I have to fight. Tell 'em, I'm not the scam. Yes, you are. I've been talking to the real person. I don't know who
mm.
you are. So they don't want to believe, in fact, that even if I do tell them I'm not the person talking to them, they don't believe it. They still want to live in that fantasy.
It was actually, um, Edward, well, you and I are friends, and we're spoken on several occasions away from the site. And I always remember you saying to me once that um, you actually apologise to people. Can you explain why you apologise?
Yeah, so I find it effective if I get to a ground point to where I can sympathize and empathize to the ladies that have been scammed, to say, hey, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Because that goes a long ways than not saying anything. Because I figure out sometimes when I don't say anything, it strings them along to continue to figure out, hey, you have been talking to me, you've been a scammer. But if I tell them, no, I haven't, not, that's not me, I'm so sorry this happened to you, I really want to apologize you had to go through this, and understand that I too am a victim. They kind
Mm,
of sympathize with me as well, to say, wow, so I've really been scammed, and I have to let them know, no, I'm not deployed. No, I don't need your money. And no, you haven't given me your money. And no, those images that you're seeing are not me, because they share different images of who they think is me, especially if it's nude photos. And I've had to let ladies know, no, ma'am, that is not my photo. I don't know. Please, if you share nude photos with them, stop it, because now they take those photos and they use those photos and make fake pages on these women
mm,
and use their images. And I've had a lady
mm.
say the same thing. I gave them most private images, and they've turned it around and said if I don't give them money, they're gonna tell my family members of what I've done. So they use a lot of that, do a lot of blackmailing and extortion. So it just very sad. So I do my best to apologize for what they've been through, especially this one I received yesterday. She's been in a relationship with me, thinking for 3 years. That's a lot of that's a lot for one person to believe they've been with somebody and never met them. But I don't know how they continue on a relationship with someone they never met. But it's happening. And it's happening far too often, where these women are vulnerable and they want that companionship, right? And they reach out and they're thinking they're talking to me, but they're not.
That's almost unimaginable. How could somebody be in a relationship with you or anyone else, be that may, for 3 years without even meeting them?
Yeah, I couldn't fathom how that happened. But I can
Oh,
see if I have a life that I keep telling them I'm deployed, and
mm,
I can't see you yet. I'm still working out here. I'm trying to make it. But here's a video of me, which is a video they may share of
mm.
me, and they still say, hey, I'm over here still fighting, but I want to send you a quick photo. And they alter a photo that has an image of them, showing them saying, I love you, Sarah,
Oh,
or I love you,
yes.
Becky. And
Yes.
it's something that I had. It said I've won this, or I did this, and they alter. They do all the
Mm.
um, copy and all that, to where now they believing this, and they're stringing them along as much as they can, to the person just gets upset. Say, hey, I need to see you right now. If I don't see you right now, I'm done sending you the money.
Exactly. And it's also, it impacts on your personal life too, with your family, with children involved. It's
Yes.
terrible. It's so you are very, very much a victim too, Edward. Very much a
Yes.
victim too. And that's exactly what I was saying to Caesar a couple of weeks ago, how it impacts on the family, not being able to live your life in your own privacy, in
Yes.
comfort of your own home.
Yeah, they're very much so. I have a daughter that I'm very close with.
Mm,
Sometimes she's afraid of me posting too many pictures of her, because she don't want anyone to know who she is or where she lives. And I've
mm.
told her the complexity of what I go through, and it's to the point now. A lot of the scammers are using new tactics, in which they're involving other people into the scam to pose as my daughter. So Ladies call and they say, "Hey, is that Isabella?" Then another girl from their country would speak on the phone, and I've had ladies say, "Yeah, I've talked to Isabella. We have conversations. I've sent Isabella birthday money. I've sent her school money," and
Mm,
I had to let them know, "No, Isabella, you never talked to her." "Well, I talked to your mother as well. When she was sick, I had to send her a whole lot of money when she was sick." And I said, "Man, you've been scammed. It's bigger than I've thought, you know." Now they're involving other people, and other people are into the scam now to where they're making this a business. They're making this a huge business, and it's a huge business out there for them to do this. And women are have great hearts. They want to help out. And when they think they're in love with someone, they think they're helping someone out. They're actually not. They're actually helping a scammer out to scam more women, because that funnels money in, and it generates more opportunity to do more of the scamming. So they know if they can get money from one, let me try this on 5 different women. Let me see how this works. Now it's a ring. Now it's a business ring, and they involve more people in, and it grows and grows and grows.
mm. And your daughter is at an age now where she understands.
Yes,
You
she
know,
very much understands.
she's
She
very,
very much.
very clued on. Very clued
Yes.
on. Yeah. It's a unfortunately scamming is going to be around for a long, long time. A long, long time. And I always say, when the money stops, the scam stops.
Yeah.
You know, when money stops, the scam stops. Um, but yeah, no, it's terrible. It's. I really feel for you and other victims whose photos are stolen. And as I said, it's not only males; it's also females that are, unfortunately, their photos are stolen. It's I've actually am going to look forward to interviewing a lady here in Melbourne. Actually,
Oh
she's
wow,
written a book
awesome.
on a romance scam, and she was in a terrible scam back in 2014. And she's got an incredible story to tell. So I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be the next podcast that I do.
Great.
Um, but Edward, so how do you, how can you move on?
Um, it's interesting you say that. I don't think I do move on, because I still suffer from the consequences of knowing that I'm still being used out there, and I still get targeted on social media as I am to blame. I am a part of the scamming crew, and I try my best to delete as many as I can, but the more I try to control it, the harder it is.
Mm,
Is It doesn't help, and it's like, to a point now, I just have to be careful what I post, how I post, so I can't really post locations I am at that present moment. I always try to post if I'm posting afterwards. So if anyone's trying to find me, they can't say, "Oh, I'm here now." Well, I'm not at that location. I try my best to
mm.
not
You
show
don't
my.
do the check-ins. Yeah.
No, 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 no,
Mm,
not at all. I try not to, and with my profession, I'm always, on the go. I'm
mm,
just very cautious of where I'm going, how I'm going, and be mindful that there is someone that's been scammed, maybe in every city I am, and they want their money back, or they want to find me, and they think I am a part of the scam, so they're going to find a way to say, "Hey, that's the guy there. Let's go do something to him." So I'm always just cautious, because retaliation is a fact.
mm,
And when people get angry, they'll find ways to retaliate and try to find a way to get back and hurt that person that's hurt them.
mm, mm,
So that after effect is really dangerous, because once the scammer's done what they're doing, I have to deal with that. I have to deal with that after effect. They're finding me, and they're trying to tell me their story, and they want me to hear. I have to hear, because many of them will say, "Hey, I'm trying to reach out to you, tell you what happened to me. I need you to talk to me."
mm,
And it's very forcefully, to where it's aggressive, to I don't want to do it, because if I start, and they, to a point now, they're very angry, they may say, "Hey, wherever you at, I'm gonna hurt you if I see you, because you was a part of the scam." So I don't go that level, because I don't want to entice them or invite them in any way possible to think that I'm inciting them to do anything more aggressive, or I'm wanting to be with them. So it's just a very unique position I'm in right now. And it's very challenging because I don't know how to react or reply to some people because I don't know their mental and I don't know their
Mm,
heart where they at. So
mm,
just navigating through this all is very challenging. So when they say I moved on, it's hard to say I can move on from this because my image is still out there. Like to say, the internet is out there, and based on my profession as an actor, that's how I'm able to book more opportunities for myself. It's to show that I have fans, right?
mm.
And I'm out there and I'm noticeable. Um, but it just is very very unique of how I have to move and represent myself in the social media light.
I remember you telling me that you had a lady actually come up to you and she said to you, I know you. And she was saying, isn't your name Bryan Edwards or whatever? Can you tell that story?
Yeah, I've had two occasions. Matter of fact, one was with my daughter. We were at a theme park in Atlanta called Six Flags, and a lady from Florida came up and she was like, "Hey, remember me? We were talking. We were just talking the other day."
Mm.
And I was with my daughter in the eatery, and I was like, "Oh no, where are you from?" "I'm from Florida." And she was like, "Yeah, here's your page right here." And I said, "We've been talking." And I said, "Oh man, that is not me. I do apologize." And I had to slowly break it down to her and tell her, "You, my image are used to scam women." She said, "You sure, man? I thought we were talking." And I had to let her know. Then another one was I was in New York, so this is a whole nother state, whole nother side
Mm-hmm.
of the world. And I was
Mm-hmm.
getting some food, and the lady was like, "I knew that was you. We've been talking. You remember me? Aren't you Brian Williams?" And I was like, "Brian Williams?" I said, "No, ma'am." "Yeah. Matter of fact, let me show you right now." So she pulls the page, and
Oh,
I said,
wow.
"Yeah, that is not me, ma'am." She says, I was talking to you. We shared a lot of stuff. I thought that was you. I knew I knew your face." And I said, "Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, my images are used and to scam women." She said, "Wow." I knew something was up because he started asking me for money, and I told him I couldn't give him the money, and they were getting upset with me.
Mm.
And I said, "Yeah, that's a telltale sign right there. That's a scammer, ma'am. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but please just report those pages." And I left there shocked because I didn't know if she had any friends behind her or somebody in the car that can see I gave him money. He owes me my money now, and thinking I am a part of the
Mm.
scam. So that scared me a little bit because I'm
Jeez.
by myself and I was in another state. Don't know what they could have done to me there.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Your life is in danger.
Yep, yep, yep.
Your life is in danger. Yeah. Yeah, no, I was so naive before my romance scam. I had no idea that they existed. I must have had my head in the clouds. I don't know. I just had no idea. And the extent that the scammers will go to is just unbelievable. And they ruin your life too.
Yeah.
Not only the victim, but also your your life. It's so Edward, what's the advice that you can give to victims?
So much as I tell the ladies once I encounter with them to make sure that they stop all communication right then and there. If they thought that they want to reach back out, don't do it because now that allows the scammer know that they have the power of them now. So they have control of them because they're in a vulnerable spot. But most importantly, reach out to counseling, get some help because you're going to need
Mm,
help moving through this because now you've actually involved someone thinking they're going to be your mate in your life and you share a lot of personal stuff. You gave
mm,
away money, you gave away time and energy to which you can't get back. So many of them, a lot of the women harvest a lot of anger inside,
mm,
and they must find a channel to let it out more positively so they can move on, but more so
mm,
get educated more about what happened. Because I know there's ways that if they can communicate with someone ASAP, they may get their money back. They may find ways that they can get help, but they must try the best they can to get the help they need as soon as possible. Because if they allow it to keep going and festering it, that's when the anger continues to build up to where I've seen women that, call the police on me. I had the sheriff come to my
Oh,
house.
that's right. That's
I,
right.
I
You
had a
did
lady
too.
tell the sheriff that I was supposed to get married to her.
Mm.
And when the date came, I never showed up. So she's left waiting for me to come home to get married to her. And she sent me all this money in respect, thinking I'm coming home to her. But the communication stopped. So now she has to reach back out to me, thinking I'm the scammer, because who else can she reach out to? She doesn't have the real scammer's information because they've been giving her all my information of who I am. So they study us, they study us as much as possible, but they don't get it right. So if you see how they communicate, you can kind of sense they want something out of you. And if you meet them and they never met them in person and they want money, it's ultimately a scam.
That must have been a real shock when the sheriff knocked on your front door.
Yeah, it was a shock to know that this is real, and this is real, and I didn't take this very serious, and I didn't take it as much then, but now the last 2 years, going through what I've been going through, I don't play with it no more. I don't play it as this is a game. This is real life, and a lot of women hurt, and a lot of women are willing to kill themselves, commit suicide, or hurt or harm any other people because they're so hurt and they know that it was a facade, it wasn't true, and now they feel so stupid, they feel little, that they allow themselves to fall in this trap, and they don't know where else to go, and they're trying to figure out. So I tell them, before you think of hurt and harming yourself, speak to someone, talk to somebody, let them know what happened, because sometimes they involve their family, and their family thinking, "Oh, you're not marrying that guy? I thought you was marrying him." Well, he never
Mm,
showed up. He never showed up to the courthouse. He never showed up to the airport, because they have these women meeting them in places thinking they're showing up, and they
mm,
never show up. So that's
mm.
that's 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 some deep and heavy stuff.
I've spoken to one woman um, who's been in the scam for a number of years, unfortunately, and 3 years in a row, she's gone out to the airport at Christmas time because her scammer was coming out to see her. Three Christmases in a row. Can you believe it?
Wow.
The heartbreak, the torment. It is just terrible. Um, I have become very, very compassionate, and I have a passion. Um, sorry, Edward. I have a passion to help victims and see them. And the advice that you've said about seeking help, that is the best advice that you can give to anyone. They need counselling. A lot of the victims don't have anyone to talk to. They can't tell their family, they can't tell their friends, they're doing it alone. Can you imagine what's going through their mind? It is just sheer hell. It's not knowing, not knowing. And there again, what's going through your mind too. It's just, it's awful. It's awful. Um, but has it made you a more assertive person?
Yes, it has. It's allowed me to know more, especially the warning signs of communication, because I've ran into women who have been scammed, and they befriend me because they know they have been scammed, but they never tell me they've been scammed. But they want to
Really?
steer. They come into my life and they play a role as if they're first getting to know me, because they
Mm,
figured out they've been scammed, but they want to know the real me. So they insert themselves in my life in a sort of way that is more passive. As, hey, how you doing? I met you here and think you're very cute. Just wanted to see if we can talk. But they been met me on a image, but they try to insert themselves in a sort of way to say, maybe if I come in as a stranger he may like me, but once I figure out and I ask him, why are you on my page and you post the way you post? Well, I have to be honest with you. I was scammed by a scammer and I fell in love with you. So I felt maybe if you see me in a sort of light, you would like me. So that's
Oh,
why I want for
goodness.
you to feel that you can talk to me the way I was trying to talk to you. But I see you're not reciprocating the same feelings. So I just need to be
Mm,
honest and open with you. And I had to let them know that's why you were so passionate about wanting to communicate and talk with me. Yeah. And it happens so often. They won't tell me they've been scammed because me to run. They don't want me to block them for me to run away from them. So they find little ways to communicate with me.
they're grooming you all
That's
over
it.
again.
There you go. They turning into the scammer,
Mm,
so they can get what they
exactly,
want.
exactly. They're grooming you. Yeah. Look, it's the same with me on my Instagram account. I've had to verify it because I've had people reach out to me, wanting to befriend me and follow me. And the messages I get, I just have to block them. And
Yes.
that's the reason why I've got a verified Instagram account. And it's more for safety reasons than anything. Um, I don't have a verified account on Facebook, but my security on Facebook, nobody can send me a friend request. I'm the one who has to do it. Um, so yeah, it's unfortunately, Edward. I think it's going to be, as I said, it's going to be around for a long, long time. Um, and it's awful when you think that you have to get up in the morning. You have to think, okay, I've got to go to work. Is somebody following me in my car?
Yep.
Is somebody following me into my place of work?
Yep.
And just watching all around. I experienced that in my own scam, as Ruth know. When I had my first talk with her, I couldn't leave the house because I was terrified that those scammers were going to be outside. So I can sympathise with you, and I can understand to an extent of what it's like for you as a victim.
Yep. Yep. So I'm constantly on guard. Um, because I don't want to experience something that I can't get myself out of. So I'm always constantly on guard to make sure that I can always find a way out. If I'm in a situation which is life or death, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
It does make sense. It makes very good sense. Um, no, it makes very, very good sense. We've really got to understand that Edward is not scamming you.
Yes.
He is not scamming you. He is a man with a very kind heart, and he is not looking for a relationship. Um, and you've and these women's partners have got to realize that he is not chasing after your partner or your wife or your girlfriend or what so forth. It's just not happening. It's not happening, you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
And yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness, you
Yep.
know.
Yeah. I thank you again, Kathy, and the Scam Hunters United for this platform because you all helped me a lot and you all taught me a lot in the sort of way to be able to continue to reach out to women in sort of way to let them know I'm not the scammer. So when I'm able to do my lives, I do my lives. I try to do it once a week. And I get so many people saying, wow, I'm so happy. I found the real Edward. I just wanted to let you know you have over 300 TikTok accounts, or you have over 400 Facebook accounts, or I met you on a dating site and I found that it wasn't you. So I just wanted to let you know. So it's just unbearable at times to
Oh.
hear it happen over and over again. Hey, was that you? Are you talking to me now? I get that every day. Hey, is this you? Or is this the real Edward? Hey, have you been communicating with me? Hey, my aunt says that you're supposed to marry her. Could you please send her a text? Hey, I know you don't get this often, but I want to let you know that I've been a victim, and just want to let you know I'm sorry that I fell in love with the image, but I'm in love with you. Can you
Mm,
talk to me? Can you talk to me
mm,
now? Here's my number. And I get all kinds of weird requests. I had a lady email me and say, hey, I love you so much. I can't wait to suck your toes. I can't wait to give you these
what?
freaky things. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't even know you, man. Why would you, what's wrong? Where do you think that's okay?
Mm, mm, mm. That's yeah, that's bordering on harassment. Very much so,
Yes.
harassment. No, that's just not on. Uh, it's almost like you have to go out of the house and you have to go out in a disguise.
Yeah, yep. I got to be very careful with my face because, not saying I'm a handsome or beautiful man. I'm not trying to be um, conceited in that way. But I know I'm not a bad looking dude. But my face is very recognizable, and
Mm,
I've get a lot of people. Oh, I've seen you before. Where I've seen you. Either they
mm,
see me on a television show, or they see me on a video, or they see me doing this. But most of importantly, they probably see me on a dating site, or they see me in their inbox. Hey,
mm,
lovely. Hello, lovely. Good day to you, lovely. And a lot of Americans know if you're an American, you won't speak in that way. So a lot of them will say, "Hey, I thought that was you, but it was kind of interesting how you introduced yourself to me." Which a lot of scammers are trying to figure out our lingo and try to talk like we talk, but they can't because they're in another country. In which a
mm,
lot of time that's the red flag. But if you
mm.
think I'm in another country because I'm based in there for military, and then you still don't understand if that's the real me or not. So it just keeps going. It just keeps
Yeah.
going.
One person here, Melissa, she's asked a very good question actually. How can we convince someone it's not you?
So the best way you can do it is have a video chat. A video chat, get me on video and talk. If not, you're going to get a video of a video I've already done and it's going to be sent to you because that's
Mm.
what they do. They'll send a video, and many times, as you know, AI is getting even bigger that they can
Oh, it
try to use
is.
my video and talk and use my voice, but they'll use my video. But it's just you need to get down to it. You got to be able to meet me in person, or you want to do something really, live and talk to me and try to figure out if you can see the different aspects of AI. AI will show how my lips move weird, or I do something sort of different. You'll figure it out. But you have to talk to me in video. You have to see me in person. But don't send no money if you never met me in person.
Mm. That's exactly right. It's Caesar actually. I remember he brought up a really, 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 really good idea, and that is when he does his posts, especially with his son, he does them in boomerang. So you're moving all the time. So the scammers can't steal those videos.
Mm,
And that is excellent, you know.
yeah,
And I thought, how clever is that? Because scammers will not. I've had scammers contact me since my scam, and they've sent me videos. Oh, did you hear me? Did you see me? And I've just blocked it straight away.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been contacted quite a lot, just in that phase. So
Mm.
yeah, no, but Edward, you are doing an amazing job in trying to lead a normal lifestyle to the best you can. And everybody, the talk that we've had today has been imperative, has been really imperative for people who are scammed by your photos. They have to listen. They really have to
Yeah.
listen. Um, It's an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing battle, and it will be. It will be. You've got to excuse me. I've got Henry in the background, and he's on the couch and he's snoring. He's snoring. He's saying, "Hurry up, Mum." I just changing the subject for a moment. It's a very, very special day for me today.
Happy birthday,
Oh
Kathy.
yeah.
Happy birthday. Yes,
Thank
it's your
you, thank
birthday.
you, thank you.
Thank you.
And one of the gifts I got, where was it? Oh, she's taken it. I got front stage seats with my daughter and I
Oh,
to
nice.
see Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, that's a great birthday present.
Oh, what a darling she is. Well, you know,
Yes.
Ali. She's
Yes.
that was one of the most beautiful presents. It was lovely. Yeah. So I'm going to have a girlfriend over today, and my kitchen already smells absolutely beautiful. I'm cooking a roast lamb.
Oh, man, look at that. That's awesome.
Edward, thank you so much for your time. I really do
Yes.
appreciate it. We shall
Thank
do
you.
this again.
Yes.
Um, and Edward is also with our group, which is wonderful. And he knows that it's not only romance scams that we deal with, we look after all types of scams down here in Australia.
Mhm.
I've had lots and lots of victims, Edward, since I started this in March, and I've helped a lot too. I'm still learning, and
Yes.
I'm still relying on oh, my beautiful Ruth. Ruth is wonderful.
Yes, she is. She's awesome.
Oh, she's my gardening angel. Believe me.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, Edward, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You have a good evening, and I'll start my day now. It's 10 to 9
Awesome.
in the morning. So it must be what 10 to 7 your time?
6. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
10 to 7.
Yeah, it's 10 to 6. I'm in another state now, so I've
Oh,
traveled.
you are too. You are
Yeah.
too. I'm sorry. My
No,
apologies.
no,
That's
no,
why I
no.
think we're a little bit confused with the time difference.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm in Wisconsin now, which is an hour back from
Okay.
Georgia.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So you're 15 hours behind me now instead of 14.
Yep. So it's 5:50 where I'm at now.
Oh, goodness me. I'm lucky that I'm on the ball with my time clocks.
Yes, I had to check my times. I was like, oh, because every day, every place I'm always traveling, I'm on a different time code. I'm like, what time is I'm checking? So yes, but I do want to thank you, Kathy, and a happy special birthday to you,
Oh, thank you.
because you dedicate your life to helping individuals you never met. As the
Mm.
difference from the scammers, they're scamming people that they never met, and their victims are being scammed by people they never met. But
Oh,
you're helping people that you never met. So I thank you for opening up your heart and your mind, to be able to do what you're doing. And I know that it comes from a great place, because I can sense your spirit when we talk, that you have a great heart to help people. So you keep on having a good fight and doing a good fight, because you helped out so many people, especially you and Ruth. When I send y'all individuals that have been hurt or been scammed, you all do your best to educate them, and I appreciate you doing that. I thank you. I'm proud, and I'm so happy to have you part of my team. I call you all a
oh,
team because you guys do so much helpful to me, and you bless my life incredibly.
oh,
And I can't not thank you enough for that. And I thank you for the time you give to others, that you can just say, hey, no, I don't want to do this, but you do it day in and day out, and you're fighting a good fight. So don't you stop. Just know me, Edward, across the world,
mm,
loves you. I
mm.
appreciate you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, Edward, thank you so much for your kind words. It's a passion. It's my calling now, and look, I will help anyone in need. And I know that you are the type of person who has got the most beautiful mindset too. So bless you, Edward.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much, my friend. And I will talk to you later on the day.
Okay, Kathy. Enjoy
Okay.
your birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh,
Happy
thank
birthday.
you. Thank you.
Enjoy. You take care.
Thank you, Edward.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.